After you use the word picked on, I'm sure she's like raising her hand.
Hey, if it gets it done, I can be picked on. That's
All
fine.
right.
All right.
I mean, we come out with a final plan. I'm all in. This is like, oh, this is great.
See, like meeting us has been a pleasure, huh? It's really helped. I mean, I really love you on the accountability calls in the morning too.
Well, I've enjoyed them. It's what I need to keep me focused. It's working.
Yeah. Yeah. So everyone that's on here, Modern Agent Blueprint, we do a 8:45 a.m. Eastern time accountability call, and we do one personal goal for the day and one business goal for the day, and it really keeps people on task. And I mean, think about it. Even if you get half the goals done, you're still getting 2 to 3 goals done a week, which is, I think that all real estate agents have ADD, so they need a little push to help them.
So I think the territory.
Yep. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Well, once again, thank you for joining us for part 2 of our Crush Your 2023 business plan. And I'm going to send it right over to the one and only Susan McClain, so we can kind of pick up. I don't know if we want to maybe just do a quick summary and then just kind of pick up where we left off.
Yeah, we can do
for
a
anybody
really
that wasn't
quick,
here last week.
yeah,
okay.
A really quick recap. Teresa, thank you very much for volunteering. I have a volunteer this time, not voluntold. I get a lot of voluntolds for these things, but thank you for volunteering, Teresa. So your business plan, were you able to attend session 1?
I did, yes.
Okay, great. Do you have a portion of the business plan complete?
That's what I was just looking for. I have pieces of it. Yes.
That's okay. That's all right. That's great. What we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll just kind of do a really quick recap of what we covered last week. We're not going to go super in depth, but if there is a place that you're struggling and you need help, we can help you as a group. And then we can finish the last 2 pages that we didn't get to last time. Sound good?
Okay, and I'm going to step aside and get my copy.
And then we also have Charisse, who is going to be filling it out as well.
Fantastic. So while she's doing that, I'll just give everyone a heads up. Lee had asked me to make an announcement. We do have, if you're new or newer in business, we do have a Kickstart training that's launching tomorrow. So it is every Wednesday starting tomorrow and going through the end of the year. So December 28th, 29th, whatever the last Wednesday of December is. So it'll be every Wednesday from 12 to 1 Eastern. And I think Lee and Julie already have the registration information on that. So if you're interested in attending Kickstart with me, it's going to be held via Zoom. I'll be hosting it. The first couple sessions will be making sure that you're fully set up with EXP as an agent. You have access to everything. You understand how to use the tools and systems. After that, we're going to go into actually how to sell real estate and working with buyers and sellers and prospecting, and all the different things that we need to be aware of in order to grow a healthy, thriving real estate business. So I'm sure Lee and Julie can get you the information. If you guys need that information, again, let me know, but I'd love to see you guys there.
Thanks, Susan.
All right, Teresa, do you have it? Are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's do a real quick recap. So do you think you're going to be, or are you on track to achieve your listing goal for 2022?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. That's awesome. What about your closing goal? Do you think you're going to hit your closing goal for 2022?
The last 2 don't bag out on me this month. Yes. If the finance and the insurance holds up, yes.
All right. Fantastic. That's awesome. Good for you, Teresa. I love it. So as you guys can see, I'm just going to kind of go through this really quickly, but we do have some more clarifying questions around each one of these. So that's something that I do want you to pay attention to when you're filling this out, like total number of properties listed, number of sellers that you represented, your average list price, commission. So in this recap, I won't go super deep with those, but I do want you guys to make sure that you're touching those when you're doing your 2022 recap. And the reason is because we can't set our GPS for where we want to go in 2023 if we don't know where we're starting in 2022, right? So, all right, so good job, Teresa, on those. What about your income goal? Will you reach your income goal for 2022?
I'm going to be a little off. Some of these last ones aren't as high, but it'll be close.
Okay, all right, good. That's good to know. Did you by any chance calculate your average sales price for the year?
Yes, the average sale price is around probably 300, like 300, 350. If I do
Okay.
350, it's going to be on the high side. So I kind of was thinking keep it at 300. They fluctuate up and down, but
Right. Okay. All right. Awesome. The other thing, I'm not going to ask you to answer this, but the other thing to pay attention to also is your total commission, right? So what's that total commission per sides closed? You don't have to answer that, but I want you to pay attention to that too, because obviously it's not only our list price, but it's our average commission rate that helps us hit our income goals. So keep that in mind as we're planning your 2023. And if there is anything that we need to adjust, whether it might be overcoming objections or, how to handle maybe a difficult client that wants you to reduce your commission, that's something that we can kind of handle and plug into that 23 plan too.
okay.
Did you get a chance to go through and kind of rank your sources of business for the year?
Yes, the majority of it is sphere of influence.
Great.
How
How many sphere?
I guess this part I had a little confusion with. So like sphere and repeat client, past client, to me are one and the same, because that repeat client or past client becomes part of my sphere.
Okay. And I get how you can look at that. I'm looking at it as who has done business with you in the past that did business with you in 2022. So you sold them a house 5 years ago, and then you now sold, you sold that house in 2022. So that I'm looking at as a, repeat client or a past client. A sphere would be someone that didn't do business with you, has never bought or sold with you. But let's say it's, someone from your neighborhood, right? And you know them, you hang out with them some, that's someone in your sphere, but they hadn't done a transaction with you prior to 2022. So that, to me, that's the difference.
Okay, all right.
But it's good.
Go
It's
ahead.
good though that you said you lump them in. So once I do a transaction, they become part of my sphere, and I actually love that. That's great. Too many people don't have that, they don't look at it that way, but you do. And I think that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, so I mean, between those two, it was probably 90% of my sources.
Perfect. I love it. Were you surprised by anything when you did this to think, oh gosh, yeah, I did get a couple from open houses or builders or whatever?
Actually, I was surprised like where I need to pull more in. I mean, because this is a whole list of opportunities. I've always thought of doing FSBOs, and I've looked at different things, but I've just never branched out to the FSBOs or even the builder. I did get certified on one of these builder programs, and I am going to, we have a lot of building going on, and it doesn't look like that's going to stop. So that's where in 2023, I think I'm going to put my focus.
Okay.
Is on those FSBOs, for sale by owners that are here in the area, and then that builder's market.
Teresa, are you part of, you're part of Grow CEO, correct?
I am, yes.
Okay, awesome. Just a resource for you there. We have prospecting role play scripts and dialogues every day at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And he does a rotation he rotates for sale by owners in there quite a bit on how to reach out to them.
Perfect.
Just as a resource. And then we also have a master class that on how to dominate FSBOs. So just wanted to make sure you're aware of that.
Perfect. Perfect.
Sorry to interrupt. Yep.
No, I love it. You're never interrupting. You have such great things to add. I love it.
And I
All
will
right.
say on that geographic farm, that's actually doing that in the past, and I may come back around. I will, not may. I will come back around and start that in 2023 again too. All of those repeats came out of past years doing the geographic farm.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That is
So I
fantastic.
So
dropped
Teresa,
that last year and going to put it back in.
that's great. Teresa, you may already know this, but there's something called Ren Enhanced, where you can go into your geographical farm and you can start tracking the buying and selling behavior of your geographical farm. And that's already depending on what package you are with Ren. I think you're with Ren, so you would you have access to that technology.
Okay.
And then you can send a postcard or do like a Facebook retargeting ad to that group of people that are showing buying and selling behavior, and it warms up your farm so much quicker.
Perfect. Okay.
So-
And that's Ren Enhanced Geo. Is that something I would talk to Emily about?
Yep.
Emily Bora, whatever.
Yep, just ask her about the ranking feature that Ren offers.
Okay. All right.
So
Thank
like, yep, you're welcome.
So those are
All
my
right.
two.
That's fantastic, Teresa. And that's the power of being able to, to take this exercise and do it from start to finish, is to be able to, again, open our eyes about either where our business came from or where it used to come from, just like Teresa had that aha. So this is why we fill this out, from top to bottom. So we're going to do a super real quick recap for you here, Teresa, but how satisfied are you with your results year to date in 22?
I'm 10. I'm okay.
All right.
Good.
How many hours a week this year did you work on or in your business?
Probably 30.
Okay, awesome. How many of those were prospecting hours?
That's where because the repeats came in, maybe 5 hours a week.
Okay, all right. And that's not unusual, especially in the market that we've just kind of left, right? As we're normalizing, a lot of us didn't spend a lot of time prospecting because there was, so much business to be had. So it just kind of fell into our laps. But I think 2023 might be just a little different because it's more of a normal market. It's still a strong seller's market, but it's more of a normal market. So definitely something to pay attention to is how many hours on prospecting that we're going to devote in 2023. How many people do you have in your sphere of influence, Teresa?
Around 50 to 75.
Okay, all right. How many closed transactions did you do last year? I didn't ask you that.
I actually pulled my stats here and I closed in total. I closed 14 and a half.
All right, cool. Is your sphere in a database?
Yes,
Cool. Did you work your business plan in 2022?
I didn't have one in my mind. I was that
Okay.
visionary. It's in my mind. So yes, I worked it.
Right,
It
you're
wasn't
driven
on-
by vision, right? Okay.
That's
perfect.
right. I'm driven by vision. This is hard.
All right, I know, I am too. So did you do any agent attraction in 2022?
Well, that's this year now. No, I'm not I'm not with EXP. So
Okay,
I did
all right.
agent attraction to my own brokerage.
Oh, okay, all right,
I mean,
very good.
actually, I guess that would be yes, because I just opened my own brokerage in February after being a realtor broker for 11 years.
Oh, good.
Went out on my own, and I have 4 agents working under me right now.
Okay, so you've got 4 agents right now. That's great.
And another one just called me on this conference call and wants to move over. So it'll be
Hey,
fun.
good job. All right. So that can be part of the business plan in 2023 if that's something that you want to focus on.
Yes,
So,
yes. I want to grow I'm more interested in 2023 to
Yes.
grow the brokerage, not so much grow my personal side. I'm hoping the two blend a little bit more and
Yep.
the other agents become the offset income and I don't have to generate as much of my own income, if that's possible. I don't know. I'm
okay,
new to this.
it certainly is. Yes. So, all
Yeah,
right, great. So what are the,
Here's what I found.
Sorry.
Oh.
My watch is talking to us.
all right, no problem. I wasn't sure. Okay. So what are the 1 to 3 most important things that you can accomplish in 2023? You mentioned one of them already, which is grow your brokerage.
Yep.
But what are the 1 to 3 most important?
Probably grow my brokerage, keep my personal business. I don't want my personal business to drop off completely. I mean, I'm not ready to become 100% dependent on the brokerage for the income.
Mhm.
So but I don't necessarily feel like I want to grow my personal side anymore because I don't think I'll have the hours or the time to do both. So I guess grow the business, but maintain my personal equal to 2022, 2021 in that time period.
Okay.
Can I make a quick comment to that? So that, Teresa, one of the things that I can appreciate about what you're doing is I've been through a similar balance, and it is a delicate balance when you're trying to like recruit and maintain production. And one of the things that helped me is I actually would, once I got my business plan done, I went in and make sure that my time blocks matched my business plan. So, you know, just to kind of plant that seed, and for everybody here is once you get your business plan done, make sure that you're, you know, when you're saying, okay, when you move to execution, make sure that the time that you're going to be spending reflects what you're trying to get done with the business plan. And if you don't plan it, you know, put it in time blocks, it probably won't happen. So I just wanted to point that out. So.
And that's actually the last page that we're going to get to today. And that's why we're kind of get through this fairly quickly so that we can help you develop that time block and that daily schedule that will help you get there. Love it.
I'll zip it then.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I love it. I love it. Okay, so basically grow your brokerage and sustain. I just wrote about 15 closings a year, which is what you did now. The other side of that too is, you know, if you do generate, if you happen to get back into your farming and your, you know, FSBOs and, you know, the builder side, and you end up generating more leads than what you want to close personally, that's another avenue of helping you to grow your brokerage, right? You're
Right.
be able to take those leads and pass them on to your agents and your brokerage. So, okay, so and I'm going to go through this fairly quickly because I really want to this is kind of the recap, but I still want to help walk you through this. And I think it's helpful for everyone, but I want to make sure we get to the last 2 pages of this that we didn't get to last time. So let's take one of your goals. And I'm probably just going to choose it if that's okay, because I love the agent attraction side, but that may not speak to all the agents on the call. So let's say, let's take your goal of sustaining, let's call it 15 closings a year.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, we need to make sure that it's smart and it's measurable. So I'm the one who put those words out of 15 closings. Is that what your actual goal is to close transaction wise in 23?
Yeah, that would be good. I try to look at it and say 1 a month. And so some months it might be 2 or 3. So 12 and then add 3. So yeah, 15 would be fine.
Okay. All right. So 15 closings. And then when do you want to have those closed by?
December 31st, 2023.
Love it. Okay, perfect. So now it is a SMART goal, right? So it's measurable, specific, attainable, realistic, and timely.
Uh-huh.
Now we get to that strategy part. And this is where reviewing your sources of business. You said you had a couple ahas when you did that. And so now this is great. Now we can take some of those ahas, which were, you know, you wanted to get back into doing your geographic farm. Right? So that will be a strategy that you can use to help you get your 15 closings by December 31st. You mentioned FSBOs, builders. Those are the 3 things that I wrote down that you mentioned.
Yep.
Plus, again, your sphere of influence and your past clients. So there's really 5 strategies right there.
Yep.
Any other strategies that we didn't mention? And I'm kind of walking you through this pretty quickly, Teresa, but you know, any other strategies that we didn't mention that you think are important to help you get to those 15 closings?
I'm probably going to look at, and call it trade shows, events. I mean, we as especially was going to do trade shows, events. I know that with spring coming or it going into next year, I really want to try to get into bridal shows or hit the younger millenniums. We have a product down here, one mortgage company has, which is called a Go Fund It page that allows them to start getting their down payment assistance from multiple sources, friends, families, gifts in exchange for graduation gifts, wedding gifts, baby gifts, etc. So I really want to try to promote that with the mortgage broker.
Yep.
I think there's a great opportunity there. So just call it trade and events. I don't have another name for it right now.
Okay. All right. I love it. So we've got what, 6 or 7 different strategies there to help you hit that goal of 15 closed transactions by December 31st. And if you weren't there last time, you guys, this is just the brainstorming part of all the different things that you could do. You don't want one way, you don't want one road to get your goal. You want multiple roads to get there, right? Because if there's a roadblock in one of those, you want to be able to pivot and go down a different path. Now, what are some of the things, Teresa, that might stop you from hitting that goal? What's a roadblock that you might run into? Maybe a fear you've got, you know, something you have to take into consideration.
Well, I think, I mean, Isaiah touched on it a little bit. The biggest thing is just making sure I stay focused and time blocked, which is what I'm hoping this is going to help me do. So I somehow know this whole process has helped on a few other things I've noticed as I've been doing the accountability and stuff. So that's the biggest thing. If I don't stay focused and say, this is what we're doing and keep everybody's effort on this, it will not happen.
Okay. So knowing that you might get off track if you're not going to stay, if you can't stay focused, give me 1 or 2 possible solutions to that.
I don't have one. You give me one.
Okay.
I don't
Why don't I
have
give
one.
you a couple?
That would be good because this is where I get stuck. I don't know. If I had the solution, I wouldn't have the fear or the weakness.
I love it. So I think number 1 is something that you already mentioned. So you're part of those daily accountability calls. So showing up on that and saying, guys, this is what I need to get done today. You know, will you hold me accountable, right? So when I pop back into the accountability call tomorrow, I want you guys to really call me out and ask me if I did it. So utilize others to help you stay on track, knowing that that might be a weakness that we've got.
Okay.
The other one is, again, it's time blocking and it's following it, you know, following that schedule. Again, that's the very last page that we're going to get to. So developing that schedule and then putting it into whatever calendar you use, whether that's your phone, if you use a big calendar on your desk, I don't care what it looks like, a daily planner, I could care less what it looks like, but putting those time blocks in your calendar so that you then follow them.
Okay. So do you have a solution? And so I can, and this is just probably me correcting my thought, but I can have a time block there, but it's not like attending this meeting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the time block is like, oh, okay, well, I have other things, kind of push it aside. Attending this meeting? No, I have nothing else. I need to attend this meeting.
And I'm going to guess it's because you've got it, number 1, in your calendar. You probably have, whether it's alarms or reminders that go off. So set alarms on your phone. So when it's, you know, prospecting time, and you've got an hour set aside to prospect, you've got an alarm on your phone that goes off for you to do it, and you're not done. Sorry, my printer's going crazy behind me. I'm not printing. But so you know, so you've got an alarm that goes off when it's prospecting hour, and then when that hour is done, the alarm goes off again. And so I would say the other thing is be kind, because sometimes we do get, you know, drug into something. Don't beat yourself up, but you've got to hold yourself accountable and then use other people to help you do that too.
Okay, thank you.
So what's the most important thing that you can do? Like number 1 most important thing that you can do as soon as we're, you know, done with this business plan that will help you to hit that closing goal of 15 transactions next year?
Okay, so the most important thing is I need to get a follow-up email out to my past clients and out to the geo farm. So I'm working on that. We built it. We finally got it built in Ren and Lion Desk yesterday with video and the flyer. And now is to get it the next step and actually get it pushed out into emails.
Okay, when will you have that done by?
Friday, if not tomorrow. Let's say Friday for sure.
Friday
It's got to be out this week.
at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, can you delegate that to anyone?
Yes, I have a gal that is helping me build it. And so it would go to Mattia.
Okay, and so Mattia will have that done by Friday at 5.
Yep. We reviewed it all yesterday and finalized what it needed to say. And as long as we don't have any glitches with the Lion desk and stuff, it should go out at by 5, if not before.
Okay, all right, and she knows her deadline's Friday at 5, right?
Yep. Well,
Okay.
she knows her deadline is this week, tomorrow, today.
Okay, all right. So as long as you're then clearly communicating what her deadline is, when we
Yep.
delegate, we have to give them that deadline. So, okay, that's great. What's the next most important thing? We already talked about it.
Oh, I'm going to put it on my calendars. Next
gonna-
important
yeah, you're
thing,
gonna time
get
block.
everything scheduled and blocked on the calendar. So I need to really sit down and do that and plan out this week for next week and get everything in and get the calendar functioning and
Okay.
giving me alarms.
Great. And when will you have that done by?
I will have next week totally set in that. I'm going to finish the rest of this week and play with it and make sure it works. And then I'm going to have next week set in by Friday. So I know what I'm doing next week.
Okay. Friday, 5 p.m.?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, great. You can't delegate that to anyone, right? That's you.
Nope, that's me.
All right, perfect. So basically what we're doing with this is we're looking at all of those strategies that we brainstormed, right? And deciding, okay, what's the most important thing? What's the second most? What's the third most? We're going through those, some of those weaknesses that we talked about, and then what are some of those solutions? We're looking at all of this stuff, and then we're determining what are our next action steps. And those next action steps, we need a due date down for each one of them. And if we can delegate, we need to write down who we're delegating it to. So we're doing this for the SMART goal that we've set until we get all of those action steps all in a line. And then it's just taking that, going down and getting those done and then checking the box when we get them done. And then the other thing I want to kind of remind everyone on this strategic planning form, when we talk about time blocking, take your year and plan out your year and the things that you need to do every year. So that's the one thing I would do first is look at my year, plan any vacations, plan any, personal time off or whatever you've got like that, holidays, but then looking at quarterly, what do you need to get done quarterly? And that's where I would do a calendar reminder to revisit this strategic planning form once a quarter. So plan that into your calendar once a quarter. So, March 31st, June 30th, we're going to take out the strategic planning form and revisit it because our skill set changes, our mindset changes, different roadblocks pop up. And if we say this is a one and done, when we get to the end of the year, we very well may not hit our goals unless we're revisiting this every quarter. All right, that's our recap. You've got 3 of these strategic planning forms in the handouts, just because we said setting no more than 3 real estate goals in a year. And now we're going to get to the bonus section. Any questions before we get to the new content that we want to cover today?
Can you talk about setting no more than 3 real estate goals for the year, Susan,
Yep.
and how that interplays?
Yep, that's a good question. So if you're new or newer in real estate, I'm going to tell you to set one real estate goal, whether it's a closed transaction goal, it could be an income goal, it could, whatever your most important thing is. If you're experienced in real estate, I'm going to say, set 2 or 3, whatever your top most important goals are. And again, it could be closings, GCI, it could be, become a better team leader, add people to my team, could be whatever is really most important. But we want to have more of a laser focus. We can have other things that we work on during the year. But as far as setting our goals, our actual goals and what we want to accomplish in the year, we want to have more of a laser focus than we do like a big flashlight beam, right? And if we've got 10 goals, we're kind of all over the place. 3 goals, 2 goals, we can set our time blocking our activities more appropriately to hit those most important goals.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a question also. On the strategy planning form, I was doing, the SMART goal. And then could you tell me the difference? What is the difference between the strategies and listing the actions to take? Because isn't that kind of the same?
Great question, Sierra. So strategies, that's the brainstorming. That's, you know what, I can do this. I can, my past clients, I can, door knock, I can Facebook, I can hold open houses, I can do this. So then when it comes to our next action steps, then we take all these brainstorming strategies and everything else that we've learned filling this form out. And maybe it's where your past business, clients came from, right? So we're taking all the information that we've filled out on this form and saying, okay, knowing what I know now about what I've done in 2022 and what I want to do in 2023 and all the strategies I can use to get there, what's the number one most important thing for me to get done that can move the needle toward me hitting my goal? So I might have a strategy of open houses. And then when it comes to my next action steps, I want to schedule, my next 3 open houses, right? Or at least put them on my calendar. I may not know which houses I'm holding open yet, but I want to put those 3 open houses on my calendar. Or maybe it's I've time block for an open house every Sunday, taking 1 Sunday a week off or a month off. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you. And that actually is similar to what I'm doing. Open houses is one of my strategies, so that's good to know.
And
Okay.
she's always asking all of us if she can do open houses. So yeah,
Yes.
that's funny you use that example.
Every
'cause she's
weekend I'm available.
already doing that.
Good. I love it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to fill out this bonus section. So Teresa, name 2 things, knowing your goals, what you've got, name 2 things you need to stop doing that can, if you stop these things, could help you get to your goals, hit your goals.
Saying yes to everyone, but I don't know if that's what you're looking for here.
It is. It can be, yeah. Saying yes to everyone. That's a great thing to stop doing so that more of your time is focused on you and your goals. That's great. What else comes to mind?
Stop procrastinating.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Boy, you're a mind reader. That's scary because I'm like, okay, stop procrastinating and follow this piece of paper.
Love it. I hear that one a lot. I hear stopping the negative self-talk, right? That's one I hear a lot.
Well, I just wait till the last minute. Oh, I got time, and then you're crunching and.
Right. So taking time to identify what are the things that you need to stop doing. And now, Teresa, name 2 things that you will start doing that can have the biggest impact on your business.
Delegating.
Ooh, I like that one.
Time blocking.
Yeah, and the other one is time blocking, following this. Yeah.
All right. I love it. That's great.
Are you Terry's coach all of a sudden?
I am. I talk with Terry every morning. We're on the same wavelength right now.
Love it. All right. I'm going to skip the daily schedule because we're going to get to that in a minute. Now, there is massive evidence that if you do the following 5 things, you're 76% more likely to achieve your goals. And those 5 things are, number 1, write your goals down and keep them where you're going to see them often. Like a sticky note in your car, on your computer. I have a big mirror in my bathroom, right, when I'm getting ready, and I use a dry erase marker and I'll write my goals on it. So I'll write my goals, I'll write my gratitude list and everything right there. So every morning when I'm getting ready and every night when I'm getting ready to go to bed, I'm reviewing my goals as I'm, washing my face or putting makeup on or whatever I'm doing. So keep them wherever you're going to see them. And then share your goals with someone that you trust. That's the second thing that you can do.
So can I, this is probably a crazy question or stupid, but so we're talking about these 3 goals that we just put in here.
That's exactly right.
Okay. All right. So
Yep.
those 3 things.
Or your 2 goals or your 1 goal, or yes, whatever your SMART goals are. Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
All right.
And then share your goals with someone that you trust. So one thing that I would suggest that you do is once you fill out the strategic planning form, hand it over to someone. Hand it to, a mentor, a friend, a spouse, a business coach, someone and say, look, this is what I'm going to do this year. And I'm asking you to hold me accountable to do that. And this is an accountability partner, not a complaint partner, right? We have a lot of complaint partners in our lives. It's easy to find those. It's not as easy to find an accountability partner, someone that's going to challenge you and say, you know what, I know you can do it. Today may not have been your best day, but what are you going to do differently tomorrow? So share those goals with someone that you trust. Keep track of the progress that you're making each week. And when we get to our daily schedule here, the next page, we've actually got some of these things already written on it. So keep track of the progress you're making. Set a timer on your phone twice a day, reminding you to read your goals. I highly suggest you do that as soon as you wake up in the morning and right before you go to sleep at night. Those 2 times of the day, your brain is operating in theta brainwaves, and it's the most suggestive brain state that we have. It's processing everything that we're seeing and hearing and feeling 6 times more effectively than during the day. So if you set a timer on your phone to read your goals right when you wake up and right before you go to sleep, your brain is actually helping you to achieve those goals because of the brain state that we're in. And lastly, number 5 is rewrite them regularly, envisioning yourself achieving those goals. So if you rewrite them on a consistent basis, it's going to help you to hit those goals every day. So those are the 5 things. Now let's talk about your schedule.
Can I ask you one question on that rewrite them?
Of course, yeah.
So when you rewrite them, so let's say you're through the first quarter and some of those activities, because if you're using the same form blank, but you're making that goal and the strategies may still be the same, but as those action steps, or maybe you found that strategies are changing to achieve that, would you then like rewrite what would be the current? The goal stays the same, but some of those other items could be done or current, right? So you're
I would just rewrite your goals. I wouldn't. Now I'm going to redo my strategic planning form every quarter. I'm going to fill this out. So when I'm talking about rewriting my goals, I will close 15 transactions by December 31st, 2023. I will add 5 agents to my brokerage by December 31st, 2023. Those are the goals I want you to rewrite regularly.
Okay, so let's just say like June, by doing all this, I actually closed all 15 of them by June. Would you then create a new goal that now the goal isn't 15, maybe it's now 20 or 25?
Absolutely. If you hit your goal and you say, you know what, I'm not done yet, then 100%.
Okay.
Great question.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right,
Susan,
now
real quick, I think that one of the things that helps me is you need to know what your why is. And you need to, and what I did is we actually have a modern agent blueprint that we did a couple of months ago, and it was all about your why. And I made a 3-minute video of my why, and I'll watch that every so often. And that's what, I put my favorite music, pictures of the kids, things that are important to me. And that's what keeps me motivated. Some days, it's human nature. Some days are tougher than others. And when you have that why and that ultimate goal, that makes things easier. So, that should be one more piece that's added to that list.
Yeah. And it's actually part of the form. I didn't revisit it when we, kind of went through the recap today, but yes, it's on there a couple times. So it's on there, what's your why on page 1. And then, right before we get to, what is it? It's like page number 3, I think. What are you going to do when you hit your goals in 2023, which can contribute to that? I completely agree with that. Okay, so daily plan. Let's talk about this form. Now, this is just a written form. Again, you can take this format and put it into whatever calendar fits you best. You can put it into your phone, but for ease of this, we have it into a daily, like a written plan. So when we talk about your daily plan, I don't want you to just start writing down, well, this is what I do from 7 to 8, and this is what I do from 8 to 9. I actually want you to take a step back and think about the person that you're going to be when you hit your goal, and think about what their day will actually look like. And I'll give you an example that might kind of trigger something for you. If I say my goal is to get healthier and, lose 10 pounds by December 31st or whatever my goal is, typically what most of us do is we say, okay, well, I need to add in time to work out, right? But if we take it a step back and we say, okay, what does the day look like of someone who's healthier than I am? Well, it starts with, yeah, working out. So number one, I'm gonna have to get up earlier. I'm gonna, fit in my time for my workout. I'm going to have to also fit in time to make a healthy breakfast and probably pack a healthy lunch, or, have a healthy lunch on hand, so that I'm not showing houses and then running through McDonald's drive-through at 2 o'clock because I didn't plan. I'm gonna have to make time to go to the store and get, fresh ingredients to make dinners, so I don't DoorDash when I get home at 7 p.m. because I'm starving, right? So the day of someone who is healthier looks different than my day, right? Or, the day of someone who isn't healthy doesn't make those same choices. So I want you to think about, what would the day look like for someone who's closed those 15 transactions or added X number of agents to, the brokerage, or whatever your particular goal is. Because we have to make changes in our day to see the changes in our results. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So if your goal is to double your business, and I know, Teresa, yours isn't, right? But if your goal, talking to everyone else, is to double your business, you're gonna have to double your prospecting time. You're gonna have to double the number of leads generated, the number of open houses that you hold, the number of sphere that you talk to. So we're gonna think about our day from that standpoint versus, what am I doing now and what do I need to add? We have to flip that. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions on that?
Maybe just a comment, Susan.
Yeah.
'Cause we walk through this with the group to create this daily plan, and we alluded to it briefly. There's a big wall calendar there you see in the blue and white on my wall. I actually go through and set my year first. Like October is a good time to do this, where I look at any activities that we're doing that are immovable. So we know we have, like at EXP, we have 5 events that we're going to do every year. I'm not in control of setting those dates. Put them on the calendar. Our annual meeting with the state National Association of Realtors, if you're doing legislative, or annual meeting in November, legislative in May. I fill all of those things in, knowing that that's going to take away from these daily times. And then I also put in, hey, if I'm doing a vacation, if you're doing it quarterly, semi-quarterly, or annually, doing a vacation, block that out, because really all of this work that we're doing to fill in the blanks is for us, right? So that we can live the life we want to live. And then what that does is gives me the year what's available. Because if I say I need to do 100 calls a week and I'm doing 20 calls a day, that's 5 days a week. Well, some of those weeks don't exist. So that actually means I might be doing 25 calls a day for the week before and the week after to catch up and make up the time. So it's setting my annual calendar. Now I start looking at, what does my daily look like?
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. That's fantastic. And yes, completely agree. Start yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly. Absolutely. So Teresa, let's look at a daily schedule, knowing what you know about where you want to spend your time, right? So we talked about your sphere, your past clients. We talked about you wanted to add, builders and farming and all of the things that we've already talked about. Once you get to that point where you have closed 15 transactions, right? You've hit that goal. What does your daily schedule look like? Let's just call it an average day, right? A Monday through a Friday, an average day for you, filling in all of those activities that we've already discussed. This is the hard part, right?
Yeah, well, it is, because it's not time blocked. So, okay, so I know the thing that's enabled me to close the transactions I closed this year and years past and stuff is, and it's probably why I'm not good at time blocking, is when my phone rings, I answer it. I try to handle whatever issue or problem it is. And that's one of the biggest complaints, at least here in Florida, of real estate agents, is that they don't answer their phone, they don't return calls, etc. So I know, and I've seen some people, I've heard this when I get their voicemail, if leave your message and I will call you back within such and such. So I guess shifting my mind and trying to implement that a little bit, but implement it softly so that people still don't feel like they're just out here and they get called or they get forgotten. Because that's what's building my past clients and people that call me back. They know I will answer my phone. I answer it and I will handle their problem. And
So what if you built in 2 blocks of time per day that you're returning phone calls and fixing those problems and, you know, making sure that the settlement statement is, you know, to the client and all those things that we have to do?
Yep.
Would that be beneficial? So
I think it would be a good start. I mean, this 2023 again is going to be shifting, doing that next shift. I mean, probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I went to a coach thing. The coaches out in Las Vegas or in Arizona, and went through this same thing. I was flying by the seat of my pants, whatever. And he talked about setting your goals, setting your schedule. And when I started following it, even though I was still visionary, so I didn't write it down, but when I followed it, my business doubled the next year. I mean, I went from 3 or 4 transactions to 12 to 15. I mean, and it has steadily stayed the same and continued to grow. So now in 2023 or fourth quarter here and working with Ren and everybody, it is to get that next step and kind of write it down and try to now get my life into a little more buckets.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's my ultimate goal, is get this to where it really works like you guys all say it does. And not lose clients.
Right. And it does. And it does. Again, it's that, you know, making ourselves do it, like you said. But so if you've got 2 time blocks, you know, an
I
hour
would say
and a
in the
half.
morning, like from 9 to, and maybe it's 3 time blocks instead of everybody getting clumped in. Maybe it's that 9 to 10. So anything that comes through the night, or those early morning people that start texting at 7, 8 or whatever, that I just say between 9 and 10. So I'm not going to do them at 8. I'm not going to do them at 7. I'm just going to sit down and put them all together between 9 and 10 and return them. And then return the next set, like maybe 1 to 2, 12 to 1 or 1 to 2, something like that.
Yep.
And the last set from 6 to 7 p.m.
Perfect. I love it. Okay. So we've got 3
I'm scared
hours
to
during the
death.
day.
I'm glad you love it.
No, I love it because I know I'm a visionary person too, and it is hard. When you're driven by vision, it's hard to do this exercise. And I appreciate you, you know, raising your hand. So we've got 3 hours during the day to return phone calls and, you know, just get stuff done, right?
Yep.
Now, we talked about adding in some different prospecting methods. So one of those would be farming. How many times a week would you need to work, or how many hours a week would you need to work on farming if you're going to do it right? And I know you've done it in the past, so you know how to do it right.
Well, and that's where I guess to start with, I'm going to have to I want to spend time to see what this Ren offers so that we can automate as much as possible.
Right.
I'm all in to automate and then talk when it's time to talk. You know, if you can get this automation to work, and then as people are responding or clicking or making those contacts, so let's say we get the automation to work, then probably 3 times a day, again, anyone, like I'm going to assume that this is how this product would kind of work, is like either in Ren or Lion Desk or somewhere where I can go in and look 3 times a day at anyone that's clicked or seems to need being responded to. And this I might delegate again, as I'm building this one person that I've just hired, or if another agent comes on, some of that doesn't have to be licensed activity. I mean, I can delegate and have someone constantly watching that and then creating that task for me to actually make the phone call. You know, this is the hot person, let me call them now.
And that would be lead follow-up, right? And that could be any lead follow-up. So you've got a couple times a day that you've got time blocked for lead follow-up. And so we're making progress, right? So we've got 1 or 2 times a day for lead follow-up, and we'll just go in and check any leads that we need to follow up with. Then we've got your sphere of influence and past clients, and we have to think about, okay, how many hours a week am I going to do something with them? Whether it's a phone call, touching base, it might be a pop by,
Exactly.
an
Yep.
email. So, and
Yep.
we've got 5 minutes left. So I just want to, and I've got a hard stop here at 1, but so we think about how many hours per week on average we're going to spend on each one of the activities that we've identified as important for us to spend our time on. And then we time block accordingly.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes, and thank you for letting me be the guinea pig, because this helps a lot.
You're welcome. There's a couple things I want to touch base with really quickly. So it comes up here in the form, we've got my SMART goals. And so that goes back to number 5 on the previous page, right? To rewrite our goals, there's a spot here for 3 goals. So if you take, whether it's this paper form or you put this into your phone or an electronic version, it doesn't matter. If you're taking daily and you're rewriting your SMART goals, you're actually, again, helping your brain to achieve those goals. You've got your to-do list, right? Those things always kind of pop up. You've got your time breakdown here, and it could be the number of hours you're working on real estate. It could be hours working on agent attraction or recruiting agents to your brokerage like you are. You could also have some personal development time. You could have some prospecting, right? Number of hours that I'm working today on prospecting. Well, I'm new, so I'm going to spend 2 hours every day working on prospecting, and the other 6 I'll be working on lead follow-up and social media and those other things, right? So think about the breakdown of time. And you can kind of go back to those things you need to start and stop doing. And that can also help you to determine how you need to break down your progress or you break down your time every day. And lastly is the progress that you made today. Again, that goes back to number 3 on the previous page. Keep track of the progress that you're making on your goals. And it gives you little bursts of dopamine is what happens. And then the more bursts of dopamine that you've got in your brain, the more your brain wants to achieve more and more of those goals. Okay, we've got 3 minutes left. Questions, comments, anything I can help with in the last couple minutes.
Well,
As a planner,
hello, Susan. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, hi, Susan. I thought that this was really great today. It's clear. I wanted to know, this is my first time here with you guys, and I just want to thank you all for inviting me. But I wanted to know, is this form right here on, because I actually use like a Google Calendar to place or set my schedule, but I do love seeing the SMART goals right here. Is this form accessible to where we could use something like this?
So a couple things. So you can take this written form, right? And you can put it into an electronic version so that if you've got an electronic, it could be something as simple as like a note, like the notes app on your phone.
Yeah.
And then you're able to then take and do your time breakdown and the progress I made today and rewriting your SMART goals. So you can make this an electronic version. I don't have one that I can just click and send because it's going to look a little bit different for everyone, but you can certainly pretty easily make it an electronic version if you want.
Yeah, but I just like seeing those SMART goals every day. Maybe I'll just use that in my planner or something like that. Maybe look for one that has that where I can write that out and then also write out the progress that I made. Do you recommend doing this like the evening before the next day? Because I try to do the schedule like once a week. I do plan out things that I'm going to do for the year, but I try to do it once a week for that following week. But something like this, I don't know if that needs to be done the day before, or I would love for it to work with Google and just automatically program that. And I just got progress I made, SMART goals and stuff like that on it. Maybe I'll try to find something that could work with Google for that.
Yeah, and you can do it morning or, at the end of your day, whether it's your time breakdown, the progress that you made, rewriting your goals. To me, it doesn't matter if I'm pre-planning for tomorrow or if I'm revisiting. As long as you're doing it on that revisiting it once per day, whether it's your, golden hour in the morning or whatever that looks like for you. When do you have the most energy is probably the question I would ask you. If you've got most energy in the morning, kind of take down and, do a, pre-planning session before you start your day. If you've got the most energy in the evening, do it at the end of your day.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. William, did you have a question? Oh, sorry.
One more question. Is there somewhere to access like older master classes that you guys have had?
Yeah, so
Oh.
we have, this is all part of Modern Agent Blueprint. So it's a Facebook group that you can join on there, and there's all kinds of previous calls that we've done. This one's a little bit different with Susan running it, but usually it's myself or Lee, and then we have tons of different guest speakers on. So you can always go back, you can watch all the videos, and we have them on our YouTube channel as well.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm going to put the link to the YouTube page as well, so you can access all the previous videos that we've done.
And real quick, so everyone knows, I know as people kind of came and went, we had the Google form for this document is pinned in the chat, and it's also on the videos from last week, the part 1. The Google sheet is attached to that as well, if you haven't had a chance to download that. And it looks like Sharice is gonna get a copy of from Canva of the daily sheet. And there is another daily sheet within the Modern Agent Blueprint that's very similar that you could download as well.
You guys are
And if
great.
anyone has a
Thank you so
remarkable,
much.
if anyone
Thank
uses
you.
a remarkable, we could create one for the remarkable as well.
You don't even have to create one. All you have to do is upload a
Just upload the
PDF and you
existing
can
one?
use it right on your Remarkable tablet.
Anybody have any questions? I know that Susan had to leave. Oh, she's still here, but I know she's got to leave. Thank you, Susan. You're amazing. And
You're welcome, you guys. All right,
Always
glad to
Yes,
see
enjoy
you
thank
guys.
having
you
you with
so
us.
much. You have all the, thanks for asking.
Oh, cut out a little bit. You were great. You were great. Thanks, guys. Got to run.
Thanks.
Bye.
Hey Lee,
All
this
right,
is
everybody.
Yvonne. I had a question about her class tomorrow for the newer agents. Was there a link for that?
Yes. Julie, did you put the
I
link
didn't-
in there?
What are you looking for? I'm sorry.
The link for the class?
Oh,
New
no, I
agent
don't.
training class?
I don't know that she did. I don't see it in here. So we can get that from Susan and we can post that. Who is that asking? Yvonne?
Yes.
Yeah, I can get it to you.
And I'll just
Thank
post,
you.
I'll send an email to everyone in the, that registered for this event, because I have everyone's email.
Sharice just posted link for the daily plan in Canva. So grab that before we get out of here. So you can have that. You can download that right in there. Thanks, Sharice.
Sharice, you did that fast?
She's quick.
Yes,
You are amazing.
thanks.
She's quick with it. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Does anybody have any questions about anything for what she went over today, or any of the information that there was a lot of information, a lot of ideas. Does anybody have anything else or want to expand on anything or questions?
I had one more question when Lee was talking about your why. Do you have that in the Modern Agent Facebook? Is there a
Yeah.
segment to watch on that?
There is. I will post it in. I will post the YouTube link in here right now for everyone.
This was really great. Thank you.
There we go. And that we did that how many months ago? 10 months ago.
I was going to say, I think that was right around the beginning of the year that we did it.
Yep.
Well, you guys, I think this business review, all of this, I printed mine out to go through. This is a great way to start out or to wrap up this last quarter, because whatever you are doing this quarter is going to, reflect for the first quarter of next year. So take some time, do this business review, look at your strategies. The last call, if you were not on it, we went one of my SMART goals, I'll just read mine really quick, was my goal this year was to close 50 transactions. It's not going to happen, but it's a good goal to keep for the next year. So some things that I could do for my strategy. So, we filled this out. My first strategy was I had YouTube, sphere of influence, social media, farming, past clients, FSBO, Z buyers, expireds, lead generation sources. And that's, I mean, that's 9 out of the 10 right there. So it's like when you kind of just do like a brain dump of all of these ideas, you can go back and then streamline later what's works best for you. I mean, for me personally, I usually deal a lot with referrals, SOI, and social media. So YouTube has been high on my priority list, although it's been pushed to the side multiple times. But if I can get going on YouTube, that's going to be, you know, just one more lead generation source coming in, along with some of these other things that I've never really done. I've never really done FSBOs or expireds. So, you know, as the market's shifting, maybe those are things that I need to kind of look into a little bit more than just focusing solely on Sphere. So, you know, being able to get these goals written down and start, you know, reverse engineering it's going to be key.
And then if anyone needs any help, one easy way is to get on our daily accountability calls every morning, 8:45 Eastern time. I know that's early for some of the West Coast folks on here, but you need to start getting up a little bit earlier and joining us.
They're great. I mean, we do, you know, on those calls, we do one call, one personal goal, one business goals, or it could be 2 business goals. And then that just sets you up for success for the day, because you're not creating, you know how it is when we get these to-do lists that are a mile long, and then you just feel like you've accomplished nothing. If you're only making these 2 goals per day, it makes things really attainable. And then you feel good going to bed at night, knowing that you knocked out those goals for the day. So keep that in mind as well.
And I'm putting the link in for the daily accountability call right now as well.
It's the same link every single day. So if you guys want to copy that Zoom link, what I've done is put it in my calendar. So I have every morning 8:45 and I have that link in there. So all I got to do is click that link and I can go right to the call and not have to fuss with trying to find the link and on Facebook or wherever. You just have it all the time.
Any last questions?
Is everyone here with EXP? Lee, I just joined you or followed you on
Okay.
Workplace. Nicole, are you
no.
with EXP?
This is open to everyone. So some are, some
Gotcha.
aren't.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
So all of our
thank
trainings,
you.
all of our trainings are open trainings, and we help everyone. Like we're collaboration over competition. That's our motto.
Yeah. We started this
love it.
group. Lee and I started this group a couple years ago because it was kind of my idea and Lee helped me grow it. But it was, you know, I was just tired of these groups, these real estate groups online where like you ask a question and you're verbally assaulted and, you know, people are so rude and nasty. And it's, you know, I wanted kind of a safe place for people to ask questions, but also a place of collaboration and for us to be able to provide value, not only to our group, but to agents anywhere and any brokerage. So you said you're with the EXP?
I am, and I just found this to be very effective. I believe I got Lee's emails before, I'm not sure, but somehow I landed here today because I'm just really into getting these goals for 2023 and been working with a template, but I found that this was more clear for me. So I'm gonna most definitely complete the form. But thanks you guys for your time today.
No
And
problem.
join us at 8:45 tomorrow.
It's gonna be earlier for me, but yeah, I will. I promise. I'm putting it.
All right.
I'm putting it on my goals.
We'll see you on there tomorrow. All right, everyone, have an awesome day. I hope
Bye,
you
everybody.
crush your goals and get to work on this business plan.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.